game. Welcome back, everyone. Congratulations, United fans. We won a game, which is nice. KJ, though, what did you make of the performance? Your face says a lot, unless the screen is frozen. There we go.
No, I was literally going to start off with, well, if you look at everyone's faces when you said, congratulations, United fans, we won a game, no one flinched, no one smiled, no one moved. That's how we feel right now. Even wins are painful. We just can't put a clean performance together right now. It's crazy. And we can talk about Bruno, and he wasn't great. You can talk about Rashford, he wasn't great. Both players did things in the game that were okay, but for overall, they weren't great. You look at overall the team, the only good players really today were the ones that normally will get a load of stick in Evans and Maguire and Lindelof at times. So they're the only really ones that did okay for the majority of the game. The rest of the players up and down as per usual. And I feel like I agree with your statement. Drop in Bruno and Rashford. Do it, fine, cool. But it doesn't change the overarching issue with the team right now. And I think the biggest thing is Erik ten Hag is trying this 4-3-3, single pivot, two midfielders pushing up high to press, and then leaving one midfielder with the defense. It just needs to stop. Go back to the double pivot that we was using last season. Do that. Because guess what? When Amrabat had Eriksen next to him, a player who's going to sit a little bit deeper because he can't do the high press, we control the game more because we had two players deeper and have obviously the technical ability to keep the ball a bit more. It's just simple things like that. Like Neji was the guy who started the conversation about, have we taken too many steps or tried to take too many steps forward, and now we've gone backwards, and it looks like it's been the case. And Ten Hag just needs to keep it simple. These players are not Ajax players. They don't, from birth, they're not trained to play every position and then can go on a football pitch and rotate and be fluid. These guys can't do that. They need set. Left back at left back, right back at right back, left wing at left wing, striker at striker, cam at cam. They just need that set, basic way of playing. And as much as Ali got ridiculed for it, as much as at times Mourinho got ridiculed for it, we can see why they did that. Because these guys, they, as a team, as a squad, we haven't got the fluid formation, the 4-3-3 moving into a 3-5-6 hexagon, 8-10 formation. We ain't got that. So Ten Hag needs to keep it simple next time. Keep it simple. Drop the midfielders back a bit. Get some ball players next to the destroying Amrabat, and just play a simple game. Stop trying to invert the fullbacks. Stop trying to push up so high, and let the players' strengths shine. And I think that's the way we can move forward and do something. But yeah, man, painful win, but at least we won.
Yeah, I hear you. I know you've got a shoot in a minute, Cam, not Canadian Cam. What did you make of today? Do you agree with what KJ is saying? This is about going back to basics. Is this about the players not having the mentality to handle the pressure of the situation they're in? A combination of the two? How do you see it, bruv?
Yeah, I agree with KJ. I think we should even try going back to the basics of all the way back to a 4-4-2 in some games, because when you look at the players we have, Højlund is a fantastic player. And I think he did go off early today because we've got the midweek game where we need to win. But it's like, with this single pivot and two midfielders, we've got players that aren't used to playing possession football. Because don't forget, when Bruno came into the team, he came to a side where he had to save. He had to save us. So it wasn't about keeping the ball, having good patterns of play. It was about Bruno's going to get that ball and try to get us some goals. And I feel like for him to now adapt to this new style of play Erik ten Hag is trying to do, the right players need to be around, and there needs to be intense training. And I think Ten Hag, I think he's a bit clueless, honestly, because the international break gave me a lot of time to really think and not be too rash. Because as you know, I've been on Bruno. It's giving me time to think. And I think Erik ten Hag, honestly, I don't think he has much of a clue what to do to get us to play good football. And I think he's lost now. Sometimes you get stuck. Has anyone ever had writer's block or a creative block when trying to create content? I feel like that's what Erik ten Hag is going through right now. He's a bit blocked and doesn't know exactly what to do, which is why KJ is saying, go back to the basics if you're blocked. Tell your players to do the basic stuff. Like Rashford, if you can't beat your winger, You're a fullback. Get the ball, play it into the middle, recycle the ball. Let's keep it a bit. I wanted us to make this game boring for Sheffield, but we made it exciting for them. You could see from the first 5 minutes, Sheffield actually thought we could get something from this. We made them excited to play against us. We could have just kept the ball, recycled it. Still 1-2-1, 1-0, whatever, but just made it a bit more boring for Sheffield. But we just make it exciting for the opponents every single time. And I agree with you saying, Terry, yeah, dropping Bruno and Rashford ain't gonna really help the situation. I agree with that now. Before I used to think, you know what, just drop them and we're gonna play well. But it's not as simple as that. It's literally the patterns of play. Whatever they're doing in training, all these players can't do it together, and it's not working. So whoever starts, it's just not gonna happen. Because we saw Garnacho start at the beginning of the season when Rashford was unavailable. We saw that happen, and Garnacho's a sick player. Don't get me wrong, he's sick, but he's clearly not ready to be starting week in, week out for Man United. It just doesn't make sense unless it's on the right wing, which I think we should try out. We should try the Rashford, Højlund, and Garnacho. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, we should try it. We haven't tried it yet. But
just three men who want to shoot.
Yeah, man. Just go. Especially Copenhagen. We need that.
Do you know what? I hear you. Do you know the only thing that with what you and KJ have said, that I don't disagree with your point. I think going back to basics may help because I think it'll actually calm the players down. The reason why I think I find it hard, and maybe I'm galaxy brain in this, is because the amount of players I've seen leave Man United, and by the way, I think if Rashford left and joined another team, Bruno, Dalot, whoever, we saw, by the way, what Eriksen was like when he was at Brentford. I just think they would leave if they go to a club where there's less pressure than Man United. They'd thrive and would say, why couldn't we get them to do that? They'd suddenly start playing football in a way. If you literally took McTominay and put him in that Brighton team, I guarantee you in a year's time, we'll be asking why we sold him.
Yeah.
These players, when they go to clubs where there's less pressure, they seem to come alive. Look what Ashley Young still do. I know he got sent off today, but look at Ashley Young went and did in Italy. Look what Smalling. We all wanted Smalling out of the door. Look at he went and did. The amount of players that leave our club, not all of them do it, but the amount that leave, and within a year or two, we're all being laughed at by rivals for saying, but look what they're doing elsewhere. Lukaku is an example, and whoever else. That's my only
They gain stability though.
Sorry, mate.
One thing they gain stability though. So one thing that I was thinking today. Sorry to cut you off, Tal. Just one thing that I was thinking. Like one thing I was thinking today is just we just look so disconnected. No chemistry. Everything's just a little bit off. Like every touch, even when Bruno got that one ball, he was supposed to just guide it, come down, and he puts it out. It's just like all these little moments. You're like, what's wrong with y'all? Like all these, it's like they've never played together. And I think when we talk about when players leave, they gain a stability that you just don't have right now at United. You have to look
Cam,
at
just a quick one to back your point as well. Listen to the commentary. The ones I listened to that said that is our seventh backline pair. Backline.
Yeah, seventh backline pair.
In 8 games.
We've had 5 players. We've had 5 players play left back. I'm not even trying to blame the injuries. I'm just saying because of whatever's going on at the club, and then you think about all the background noise, right? That also causes instability. There's so many things that are going on at our club that have been going on with these players, so they can't get right.
And even to challenge our own selves here, if we go back to basics, then you start from square one again. And at some point, you're going to look to progress the football. And there's almost this element of, do we have to just persevere through it, even through the pain? Maybe. Because every time a manager tries to play more forward thinking, we go through this. And there's an element here on us as well. And the club, I make you right. This is what's hard when it comes to Man United. We can look at the game and go, these 2 or 3 players are crap. This don't work. The problem is we're 5 managers in, and I feel like we're just talking about the same stuff every time, and none of it's worked so far for 10 years. And I find it hard just to. Do you get where I'm coming from?
I do know fully, because you think of a moment today with Marcus and Højlund where Marcus should have shot maybe, but he put in the pass for Højlund. But he put in the pass for Højlund and made the run, which would have made him wide open if he got it back, and he didn't. And you're just like, that moment right there for me just encapsulates what's happening at our club. It's like, that would have been beautiful. It was right there. You don't know each other. It's like almost like you don't like each other. So I think we say year in, year out the same thing, but I don't disagree with going back to the basics in a sense, because then what? then we never get to the point that we're trying to get to. Unless we just accept it. And KJ, you said it the other day, I don't mind being a counterattacking side. If that's what you're good at, do it and be the best at it. When we were the best counterattacking side in the world, I was like, yeah, cool. I wasn't upset. People were talking about possession football. I'm like, no, hit him on the break. Anyway, that's just
we're scoring 3-4 goals a game at one
beautiful.
point. With that,
if you're gonna stick to a style, you have to stick to it. So that's what I'm saying. If we're now trying to play Eric Ten Hag football, you gotta, in my opinion, you gotta go through the pain.
Yeah,
but I don't even know what Eric Ten Hag football is right now. I don't think he knows what. I don't think he knows what it is right now.
That's a great point. Hannah's here with us. Welcome back. I know we've been away with the international break. We spoke about the performance. We know that it wasn't particularly great. We know the win, though, is important. What were the positives that you saw from Man United tonight?
I feel there's a lot of, like, there's individual areas.
I'm sorry.
Can you tell? I was thinking what was not good. You know what? There's some individual players that are great. I mean, I know he came off, but Højlund, he always looks shit hot in the box. I think when McTominay's on and he's in the box, I question, is he being played in the wrong position? But we all know this about McTominay. But then he goes and gives away that penalty. So I just think positives right now, Terry, I'll be really honest, I'm like the positive fan. But going into a game where we're about to play, a game where we must win or at the Champions League, and then we play City, and then we play Newcastle with the Carabao Cup knockouts. Like, it's not, KJ, exactly. It's not exciting at the moment. I don't look forward to those games. And I know last season, like, we were playing amazing, but we had, the belief after every game, like, we can go and win another game. We went and won the derby, and then we went and won the cup. And it's like going to play these same opponents, even at home, in the next 2-3 fixtures. I don't feel that same excitement that I did last season. So when you ask me about positives, Terry, I love to be positive, and I think there's some individual brilliance, but like everyone else is saying, I look at us playing, I think, what's our plan? Like, what is this plan? Like, there's no, like everyone said, there's just no chemistry between us, and it's really stressful to watch. And no disrespect to Sheffield United, but they're going to get relegated this season, and we struggled today. Like, we were lucky to get that win. Like, we struggled. So there's not much confidence right now, Terry. I can't lie. Maybe ask me.
No, I hear where you're coming from completely. I do. I think that I feel the same.
That's the positive, but it.
That's it. Just a free. Do you know what's really crazy about this season? We have 5 wins. Okay, we do have 4 defeats. We have 5 wins. Like, Arsenal, Liverpool, and Spurs have been raved about this year. They've only got 6 wins each. Like,
we've got more wins than losses. Wait, what? What the hell?
Yeah, we do.
Like
we haven't drawn. Everybody else has drawn games. Like, Arsenal have drawn 3, Liverpool 2, Spurs have drawn 2. We haven't drawn anything. And obviously, like, the wins are better than draws, obviously, and that's really basic. But no, I agree. I almost don't look forward to Man United games at the minute, because I just kind of know the performances that we're going to get.